Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Thursday, February 10th, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern. We will be having a reverse aging health call tomorrow night, Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern on this line. What do you think will happen when the majority of us discover, without a question or a doubt at all, that all the answers that we are seeking are within us? Anytime we are looking outside ourselves for healing, solutions to our problems, or what we want to manifest in our lives, we are looking in the wrong direction. And sure, there is a universe out there, yet the way to master it is by first discovering how to explore the one that's in there. When we first start the great exploration within ourselves, we may not find anything at first. The mind can get easily distracted, and there are billions of possible ideas in there. Think of this as a great test in our patience is to be expected. When we trust ourselves, knowing that something bigger than us is guiding us all the time, we will soon discover the most amazing, loving, gentle, sweet energy inside each and every one of us. It is from this place that all the answers flood in. The secrets to mastering this universe can only be found by those who are willing to look patiently within. We do not have to go far at all to find what our souls are looking for. Everything is already set up in such an absolutely perfect and divine way. Relax, rest, and you will soon be embracing the infinite being you already are. Imagine that when we begin to understand that it is all within us. It is literally all within us. Our task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within ourselves that we have built against it, really. Whether we know it or not, we are being loved right now. This universe loves all of us deeply and eternally. It accepts us exactly the way we are. It doesn't pay attention to our fears, flaws, and insecurities. It only sees perfection in us because we are an intimate part of it. No matter what horrific things that we may have done or said in our past, the universe is not holding on to them. It has forgiven us. In fact, it forgave us the very moment we felt bad about it. The universe cannot judge us, condemn us, or view us as someone or less than holy. It accepts us as a perfect divine aspect of itself, a sacred extension of the very heart of creation. Those things which we consider unacceptable or unlovable about ourselves are simply very small, contracted thoughts and have no real substance to them. The only real substance is love, which is inside the heart, beyond the mind. It is infinite, eternal, and unchangeable. To get to this real place of universal love, You must choose to get beyond the societal mind, which is how we generally feel about ourselves. The way we view ourselves is usually based on how we believe the people we are the most intimate with feel about us. The way we view how others feel about us. This world is our multidimensional mirror. And our closest friends and family are mere extensions of ourselves. If you feel that your friends and family despise you, then you will be constantly judging and hating yourself. If you believe everyone loves you deeply, just as you are, you will have a deep acceptance and appreciation for who you are. The interesting thing here is that your mind holds the key to whether you believe that others love you, fear you, or hate you. And in your mind, you make the final decision how the world treats you. If you believe that in your heart you can manifest it in the deepest reality, it is all up to you. If you believe it in your heart, you can manifest it. And the deepest reality, it's all up to you. Now, imagine ourselves, all of us, as a metaphysical radio tower. Meta, beyond, physical. Meta means beyond, so beyond physical. It's a beyond physical. It's not a physical radio tower that is continuously broadcasting and receiving messages within a living, breathing universe, of which we are all an intimate part. What are the messages that you are sending out most of the time? What are the messages you are receiving? Look for the direct correlation between the two. When you are practicing being appreciating, accepting, and approving of yourself just as you are opening up the receptors in your heart and brain to receive that same loving signal back from anyone around you. The more sensitive you become to this love, you will start to sense a constant flow of universal goodness that is pouring into you, into the plants, animals, and is emanating from everyone and anything. Love is possible only when there is a deep acceptance of oneself. The other, the world. Acceptance creates the milieu in which love grows, the soil in which love blooms. Osho. It's always about you. It's not about anybody else. It's literally discovering yourself so that when the time comes to love others and interact with others, you will be omnipotently present and powerful. The big journey is to discover this blissful state. It is learning how to stop seeking love. Most of the people on this planet are constantly seeking love. It is learning how to stop seeking love, acceptance, and approval from the outer world and start relaxing, softening, and letting it bubble up from the infinite source within. When we stop focusing on our thoughts, love naturally becomes our guide. We end the cycle of manifesting the perpetual state of drama the thinking habit was creating for us. Once we are aware that our thoughts are constantly repeating themselves like a broken record, without buying into their drama, you can take an ever deeper look inside into the source of thought itself. The very moment, an instant, you discover where the source of thought is coming from, the mind completely stops, and you become truly free. Just take a moment to realize how intangible and fleeting your thoughts actually are. 1 second one is there, another moment, a completely new one has arrived. They come and go as quickly as you can blink. Watch how fast they come and go. soon you will start to see how little power these thoughts have over you, and spend more time tuning into the vast loving presence of your being. You will become so sensitive to your own presence that you can feel the source of love from the universe pouring through you everywhere you go. In the city, in the forest, in the kitchen, bedroom, bathroom. You will know without a doubt that the loving universal energy is always within you, right here, right now. The spiritual journey for those who are interested in knowing who they truly are, examining everything within. If anybody looks long enough, they will find that deep inside, at the very core of your being, is a vital spiritual energy that is continuously and joyfully supporting your life. It is pulsating with love, laughter, bliss. It gives you every creative feeling and experience you have of life. It is constantly bringing a pure conscious awareness into your mind and allows your breath to flow in and out on its own accord. This amazing energy is the real source of you. You can call it divine energy, life force, prana, chi, or simply the loving being that you are. This source of love is pure, real, and it never ever stops flowing. The only reason we do not notice or feel it is because we are paying too much attention to our minds. We were caught in the ideas happening between our ears and the neuronal web of the mind's matrix, wrapped up in thinking, pondering, planning, and scheming about our lives. The moment we unhook ourselves from the head and drop into the heart, we free ourselves from the internal busyness and discover a deep, peaceful stillness that brings everything into perfect perspective. Like rain pouring down from the sky, the universe is showering tons of love upon us all in each moment. Yet, we can only start feeling it when we are truly vulnerable, open, and willing to feel anything. The good, the bad, and the crazy feelings that we are sitting on. Then that little voice inside you that always doubts, resists, and tries to control your life on every level will take a mini vacation. You will begin to automatically feel the love. This depends on your ability to open your heart, be vulnerable, and consciously drop your resistance to love. Hold the intention solid, and you can instantly start receiving this divine love right now. If you try too hard to accept, approve, and give loving appreciation to yourself, you will not be relaxing into it and will be missing the point of it. This infinite love is constantly bubbling naturally from within. It comes effortlessly through you when you simply let go of trying to attain it through some person, place, or thing. By letting go of the ego's perpetual desiring search for more, better, or faster, just for a few moments, you start surrendering to the ease and joy of trusting this love that is here now. This trust instantly shifts your vibration, and you become even more receptive and grounded in this divine love from this universe. Just as the sun selflessly shines its light on every life from here on earth, every life form here on earth, the same sun, the same goes for this spiritual love. It is always shining onto you, everyone around you, and is infinitely available. The hard, struggling approach to this life is not the reason why we came to Earth. It is a learned pattern of thinking that we inherited from someone in our past who was challenged by life and were energetically close to us. Usually the main roots are from our parents. Yet all the people you were emotionally intimate with in your life taught you how to doubt, resist, and be afraid of certain things, didn't it? Go ahead and take this moment to thank them. Without their fear-based thinking patterns, we would not experience so much growth happening. The plants that go without fertilizer rarely produce the best fruit. It all depends on what is inside the soil. To transcend this limiting mindset inside of us, all we need to do is simply choose to simply relax, be very still for 20 minutes, and feel the joy of pure being. Happiness is like a butterfly. The more you chase, the more you settle. The more subtle. But if you stop moving and quietly wait for it to land on you, Nathaniel Hawthorne. If it is hard for you to believe that the universe truly loves you, look at everything you have manifested around you. For years, the universe has been providing you with everything you need to remain alive. It's given you all the food, shelter, air, water, and keeps your heart pumping 24 hours a day. When you recognize and feel that the universe is always sharing all these amazing goodies with you, it becomes much harder to live a life filled with fear. You can trust that life is flowing to you, through you, for you, and is happy to give you this love. So you can let go, relax inside, and simply practice receiving. Practice knowing that the universe enjoys keeping you safe, alive, warm, and super cozy. Everywhere you are, allow yourself to relax. Imagine this great warmth bubbling up from deep inside you. This gives the conscious, intelligent, universal permission deep inside you to assist you even more in whatever you need, any way, whatever way you need it. You simply have to choose to be open, to receive it, and truly let in the love. When you let go of trying to improve yourself, fix yourself, and simply realize just how sweet, innocent, and lovable you truly are, then the universe has no choice but to send you loving people, experiences, and messages. This is the time when our lives become a constant meandering river of bliss. We become a love magnet for the best, most loving experiences. When you are accepting yourself with loving appreciation all day long, you can manifest anything you want with effortless ease. Self-acceptance is the greatest thing we can do to grow very quickly in consciousness and abundance. Self-acceptance. It will transform you in more ways than you know. There is so much love available to you, to each of us, right now. Just slow down. Relax about your life and be open to it. This is the only way you can receive it fully. With slowing down into a state of constant self-acceptance, you will make it through this spiritual birth canal and truly enjoy this long, amazing ride. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted, which I'm sure we all are. And what's the first thing that we do? For the journey within, in the beginning, is to relax our bodies. Most of us aren't relaxed. We think we are. The mind kind of fools you, thinking that you're relaxed. And I'm talking naturally. And so what's the relaxation? How do you get relaxed, How do you do that? You focus on your breath. Period. That's it. All you do is focus on the breath and just be. You aren't thinking. You still the mind and the ego. You still the subconscious mind. You leave them alone. They're there, but you aren't interacting with them. You're only focused on the now. And any of us that knows when we focus on the now, that happens. We don't have the mind chatter. We don't have the tens of millions of thoughts flying by like clouds in the sky. We don't have our 60,000 plus individual thoughts. We just have the now. Now, being trained so long, for so many generations on this planet, we've been literally educated that relaxation is what? What is relaxation? Well, you entertain your chatter, your mind chatter, right? Or you try to put yourself in a state of composure, compassion, and peace. How do you do that? We've been trained to not do that. That's why all of us carry stress. Now, I'm not saying that we know the stress. Because we're so used to it, we don't know that we're stressed. So focusing on the now is the only way to open up the kingdom of God, which you are inside that body. Now, when you do this, when you decide, once you start going within, you will not stop because you will focus more and more every day on the now. But see, the ego mind, it doesn't like the fact that you want to go into the now because it knows that if it gets into the now, it won't exist. You can see what happens there. You can see why the ego mind is so adamant on trying to yank us into the future that doesn't exist that we're creating in the now, or to yank us into the past, which has been exhausted and no longer is. So by focusing on the now through our breath, easy breath in through the nose, easy breath out through the mouth, on a continual basis and to keep practicing it, you'll totally shift your understanding, your capacity of understanding. Now, a lot of people would say to you, well, how do you see yourself 5 years from now? You've probably been asked that question, right? Maybe ask yourself that question, or someone outside of you. You can't answer it because you're in the now. You don't focus on the future. You don't even know if there is a future. We don't even know that if we're going to wake up every morning. We don't know that either. Doesn't it make sense for us to stay in the now? I'm not saying it's easy, because we're so habitualized on seeking the future, seeking out there, seeking constantly. It's never good enough. It isn't, because of the ego mind. It's never good enough. Got to have more, better, more and better. So that's why focusing on the now. And it's imperative for us to be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with ourselves at all times, and to be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal gratitude all the time. It doesn't have, there's no interaction with everything outside of you. There's the storm outside of you. It's all within. And boy, I'll tell you what, once you can focus enough on the now during the course of your waking hours, it'll shift everything. And in gratitude, and being gentle, kind, and generous with yourself, and humble. It changes it. It changes everything. Now, you kind of picture standing on, the way you're standing, there's three paths, right? Two gold paths. And you're standing on the center one, which is the now. One on the left of you is the past, and the one on the right of you is the future. Right? Now, what's the difference in these paths? Well, they all look the same. They all have the trees have formed a canopy, and they're all gold and shimmering, the branches and the leaves. And the path itself is a vibrant, bright, emerald green flaming grass. And they're all the same. But you do notice a big difference on the path on the past. It's worn, it's used a lot. And then you'll notice the same with the one on the right, the future. It's worn, it's used a lot. Because most of us spend the majority of our time either in the past or in the future or both. And the reason that the path of the now is so pristine and new, because the ego mind is working overtime to try to keep us out of there. Works pretty good, doesn't it? Now, we'll go into the past. The reason we do is because of the fact that we reminisce. Kind of nostalgic. We go over things that we really enjoyed doing in our past, that were fun, and we have fond memories of them. See? And then we'll even visit the ones that weren't too great, just to remind us that we won't be doing that again. We'll go into this room, right? The room is a subconscious mind. Subconscious mind copies everything. There isn't anything it doesn't copy. Not only does it copy all of your stuff, it copies everybody else's. And it puts it there in its library. Even our past lives are there. So we go in there, we open the door, we turn on the light, we get the movies and we get the books and the pictures, and we go sit in the easy chair and we get comfortable and we enjoy ourselves. You know, we look at the movies, we watch ourselves as we experience certain things, and it's really fun. But then we put everything away. We shut the light off, we shut the door, and we move forward. We're always moving forward. When you look back while you're moving forward, that's the ego mind trying to entice you. No, come back here, come back here. But there are some of us that will stay there in that library, in that past. And I don't believe it's conscious, I believe it's unconscious. And they'll end up taking that past, bring it into a future that doesn't exist, create that future from that past, and relive that past in that future. That's why a lot of people will say no matter what we do, we always seem to end up here. Now, we look at the path on the right, the future, and we all go there, you know, even though most of us don't know that we create our futures in the now. See, most of us believe that the future is there. It's there. See? So all we got to do is walk through the door and be in the future. And then all of our answers are there in the future. Well, no, that's why we keep asking for external authority to tell us where we're going, what we will be doing. You know, am I going to come into some money so that I can enjoy my life more? You know, am I going to get a better job, a better boss? What is it that I truly want? Am I going to have that? When am I going to have it? And all of these questions just flood out. And so you get some answers from external authority, psychic, astrologer, clairvoyant. And it kind of gives you a good feeling because of what they tell you. Now, if they tell you doom and gloom, you get upset about that. But it's external authority. Because we don't have enough faith, trust, or confidence in ourselves, in the gods that we are, and the universe. It's the only reason we are running off into the future and seeking that which is within, outside ourselves. Now, clouds go by, right? Those are the thoughts. Fly by like clouds in the sky. Tens of millions of them. They're programs. You might as well call them programs. And they're just thoughts. They have no power at all. They're just thoughts. Sometimes, as we're in the now, the ego mind pulls us off into these thoughts. So we grab onto it. Oh, it's so good. But they're not ours. But we still believe they are because they're so tricky. They feel like ours. Suspiciously so. So when that happens, it isn't a biggie. Because he says, fine, I'll focus on my breath and I'll be in the now. 3,000% of the time, which is always, you'll be in the now. Every time the ego mind tries to pull you out with a strange passing by thought, you focus on your breath, you're in the now. And all that vanishes. Now, there's something that, when we do this, it seems foreign, right? It seems unfamiliar with us when we go into the now. Because we got that ego mind there. Remember, it's sitting there pushing on us. Now, you got to go in the future, go in the past. Get back with what you were doing. You don't need to be in the now. That's boring. And all kinds of things flood in. But you focus on your breath and you stay in the now. Every time that challenge comes up, because it does, more than once, you just focus on the now with your breath. Now, we're consciously aware, right? Wouldn't be in this guided meditation if we weren't consciously aware. What does that mean? It means that we know, emphatically so, that we are of and from the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. That's what we're made of. And if you look in these bodies, because you know you're not the body, you're the God within the body. You're the essence of creation. You're the heaven. You're the kingdom of God. You're the God source. You're all of those things. And you look in the body and you say, what are these 7 lights for? From my tailbone to the top of my head. What are those for? What are they? They're spirit, etheric energy. Just like we are. Gods that we are, spirit, etheric energy. We flow through them. We know more about these bodies, right down to the quantum quark, than any external authority could possibly imagine. We know them. You see how lazy, you see how lethargic that we become through the ego mind, where we lose that understanding. We don't identify that understanding. And it's part of who and what we are. There'll come a time in your own choosing where your journey within will literally bring you to discovery that you're the power of healing for that body you're in. And no matter what's going on with it, you'll be able to heal it in the blink of the eye. We're not there yet. But to acknowledge that is humongous for us to actually acknowledge it without resistance, with total vulnerability, is astronomical. Now, we have an understanding that we enter these bodies, and we're God, and the body's earth, And we're heaven on earth. Heaven isn't a place. You're heaven. And we are consciously aware, we know every step we take on this planet, we're creating paradise, literally. Not only that, we're shining our light. 360 degrees. Infinity and beyond. What is the light? It's love. It's the love that we are. It is the highest of the highest high, deepest of deepest, deepest, purest of purest, purest vibrational frequency. There is no higher frequency. So if you were to take a little jaunt, little trip in a starship off the planet, and you got far enough, you look at the planet in its entirety, right? And you would see that it glows. You got 8 billion gods. Some asleep, some awake, to a certain extent. Now, this doesn't include all the gods in the trees and all the other physical forms, the rocks, everything. So you would notice that all of the lights around it in the universe are like lit candles in the dark. Dim, dim, dim. This light is just super bright, super brilliant. This is a God planet paradise that glows with the power of all of us, gods, which is love. Now, there's parts of us, we know this, that are asleep. Parts of the gods that we are that are asleep. They'll wake in their own time. They're always with us. We love them just as much as we love the parts of ourselves that are awake. But they don't participate. And we communicate with the ones that are awake, which is all the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. Descended Masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, El Morya, Vedantia, Pel, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua. All the archangels, cherubim, seraphim, the archetypes. All the off-worlders, galactic, celestials. All the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath earth. All of our loved ones who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. Now, light energy beings, because of the eyes we have with these bodies, we only see 1% of what is. We don't see the infrared, red, violet, ultraviolet, blue, ultra blue light spectrums. They come in shapes, colors, sizes, forms, configurations in which we do not see. But there is a group that parts of it we're very, very, very we're familiar with these bodies. These bodies are very dependent on parts of this group. It's the fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur. Now ask yourself, could I stay in this body as the God that I am if the body did not have air, water, earth, fire, ether, wood? No. We would have to leave the body. You see how dependent these physical bodies are on the magics, the elementals. Every day, every day, till we leave the body. Now, the archangels, they're a civilization that vibrate at a different frequency than we do. The gods within their forms are no different than the gods within the forms we're in, and we're all one. Now, because of their vibrational frequency, we don't see them like we see each other, right? And oftentimes they're in disguise anyway. But if you ever notice throughout your life, there have been times, few times or maybe more, where you needed help and it came out of the clear blue. You needed warmth and compassion, and it came out of the clear blue. You needed a hug, and it came out of the clear blue. Now, they have a message. They've been delivering it for ages, but they deliver it in many different ways. So a lot of us miss it at times. We don't get it. But there are times when you meet with them, you could be having just random conversation with a complete stranger. And you find yourself just flowing with the stranger, right? And then after the conversation, something just comes with you from within and comes to the surface. And you get this warm, glowing feeling, and you say, that was an angel. That was just not... And you can tell by the frequency of their communication to you. And you can tell they're not judging you. They're not trying to scope you out. They're not analyzing you. They are deceiving you. And all of those feelings come in. Genuine, that was an angel. And the message is, isn't it absolutely magna-glorious, stupendous, splendiferous that we are alive in these bodies? Because when we're out of these bodies, we don't eat, we don't sleep, we don't make love, we don't kiss, we don't hug, we don't hold hands, we don't laugh, we don't cry, we don't smile, we don't frown, we don't take hot showers, we don't, all of these things that most of us have taken so much for granted. But your wake-up call is when you leave the body and you finally figure out you're no longer in the body. You can't pick things up and you can't hug, and there's a lot of things you can't do. That's why every single second is to be in the deepest of gratitude that we have the bodies we have. Now, they can surround any one of us at any one time in the tens of thousands or tens of millions. Because of their vibrational frequency, they can hold a large number in a small area. And if you would like, ask them in a blink of the eye. They'll be surrounding you, and you will be in an ocean of bliss. Now, the Ascended Masters, they have ascended into physical form and mastered physical form. They have ascended out of physical form, hold pure consciousness, God form. We have ascended into physical form. We are in the process of mastering physical form. We are creating our experiences to perfect our creation. Now, off-worlders, galactics, and celestials, over 1,000 species, civilizations travel through the solar system every day. Trillions throughout the universes every day. Now, there is a small group that we're familiar with. Pleiadians, Sirians, Arcturians, Andromedans, Feline, Zeta Reticuli, Anunnaki, Nords, Greys, Draco, Reptilian, Golden Pyramid, Avian. This particular group has been assisting us in our evolution, enlightenment, ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. And no matter if some of the parts of the one, of the whole, gods, are a billion light years away, we're one. It's just the illusion. And we're all gathered here, consciously aware to a certain extent, for the full liberation of this planet Earth, Gaia Arya, in this now. In full compassion, non-ego, non-judgment, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, prosperity, abundance. And we're all one. And we're all God. And we're all love. And our God, force, love, light, energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify, grow, and expand. Immediately form a white fire circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia Arya, and this now. This light emanates from where? The God source, kingdom of God, the love. You, me, all of us in these bodies. It's the highest of the highest high vibrational frequency. And we're flooding this planet, saturating and permeating it head to toe, inside and out, 24/7, infinity and beyond. There's no escape from it. There's nowhere to hide from it. It is all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. Now, we begin to ascend above the planet. We're immediately met with this massive ocean of glitter. It isn't like one you would perceive here on this planet. It's way beyond that. But we have a starting point. We can come close to describing it. We have first a grand finale fireworks display, of which nothing has ever come close to it on this planet. And then the same with a grand finale laser light show. And then we have this ballroom globe, mirrored globe, that we're all familiar with, that reflects the light slowly as it turns. While this globe is 1 trillion times larger and 1 trillion times more intense. Then we combine all of them, in one massive crescendo. That's about as close as we're going to get to describing this ocean of glitter. Now, we're curious, so we go to the reflective points. And we discover these tiny microscopic perfectly etched mirrors, so we enter them. And we're blown away. Because we discover that on this endless journey within each of us, we're learning and teaching and learning. We're doing one or the other or both for ourselves and everyone else. And you begin to realize this, and you say, well, not just the humanoid form that carries the God. What about the trees, the bushes, the grasses? You know, what about all the animals, insects, birds? They're all teaching us. But see, we get so seduced in these bodies, and we get so attached to the external reality and the physical world that we lose sight of the fact. So, a lot of people just look at a bird and not think anything about it. Remember, we were taught that the tree is life. It isn't. It's the God within the tree that gives the tree life so that the God can experience the physicality of the tree. That's why some of us will be a tree, and the tree is hundreds of years old. Imagine what that tree has learned. Isn't that amazing? We're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that the gods within these bodies are the power of healing these bodies. We're then met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column of light that we created to remind all of us, the gods that we are within these bodies, of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. We are then met with the white fire. This is the column of light that we created to remind us all that we are protected head to toe, inside and out, 24/7, infinity and beyond. Now, this white fire armor is nothing like armor you would experience on this planet. It's way beyond that. Because it emanates from the God force love light energy within each and every one of us, the highest of the highest high vibrational frequency. It can't be penetrated. No lower dark matter, survival matter frequency can come near it. And if it did, it would literally vaporize. Can't hold its low frequency in such a high frequency. So they stay away. So we're always protected. Infinity and beyond. Yet, only you have the power. That if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency low enough, whether consciously or unconsciously, through what? Anger, hatred, greed, revenge, worry, stress, fear, envy, hurriedness, you will create a breach in your white fire armor, enough so to allow lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Then you have many possibilities. Demon possession, attachment, many different things from the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies. Now, if you do decide to do this, you are immediately met with a double column of light. First part of this column is the purple transmuting flame. We created this part of the column to remind us all that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance. Sending them to pure consciousness where they are, no more. We're then met with the violet ray, the second half of this column of light. We created the violet ray to remind us all that we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame. We can cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor and restoring our vibrational harmony to the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, and purest of the purest purest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. We are then met with the golden white pink light. This is a column of light that we, the gods within these bodies, created to remind us all that we are the sun, the sunlight, the rain, the rainbows, sunsets and the sun rises, oceans, rivers, lakes, and streams, trees, forests, soils, animals, skies, clouds, mountains, starry lit night sky. We are everything. We always have been. Always will be, ever, beyond, and forever. Everything is us. We're everything. Now, obviously, we've been taught and trained to believe that when we see a sunset or a sunrise, isn't that beautiful? Isn't that what we say? We say that's beautiful. That's through the ego mind. Now, try it. You'll like it. Through the heart mind, you see a sunset, a sunrise, ocean front, mountain view. That is the God that I am. It's a whole different understanding. And it cannot be done through the ego mind. It is done through the heart mind. We continue to ascend above the planet. Some of us step outside of our physical form, hover effortlessly above it, if we're carrying physical form. The reason we do it because it's fun. And we can. We come into full contact with this massive crystalline light tower. We created this tower. It's larger than the solar system and beyond. Now, in the center of the column of the tower, we see this massive oblong sphere. The center of the sphere is this golden white bowl of light. It is surrounded by numerous multicolored rings of light that never seem to end. In turn, they have created this super bright white misty cloud that is sparkling. You can see electrics in it. And it's absorbed into our heart minds. It is like a warm embrace that never ends. Now, the golden white bowl of light we discover is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love. Then comes well-being, gratitude, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness. Bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, tremendous prosperity, tremendous abundance. And we discover that all of that is a reflection of the gods that we are within these bodies. Now, we designed the tower so that the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, 24/7, infinity and beyond, as it's doing right now. This is pure, deep, eternal love. It is unmatched in high frequency. It is the highest. And it's flooding this planet inside and out, head to toe. Now, we are drops of this golden ocean. We also hold the essence of this golden ocean. Golden ocean is the drops of the golden ocean. The only illusion is separation. We see our meditative sphere. It's at center circle. We all created this sphere almost 4 years ago. It holds all of our meditations, over 1,800 of them in perpetual motion. And they keep growing, intensifying, and expanding. Imagine that. Hundreds of millions of us on and off world, every day, 7 days a week for nearly 4 years, for the complete liberation of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. Complete liberation. Full liberation. You can tap into those anytime you choose. They are a haven. When one person lives every day from what their true infinite potential is, an amazing shift will happen for everyone. A contagious reaction of a new consciousness will occur, and our whole planet will wake up. Everyone will experience themselves as this infinite source. Believe it or not, the one person to start this chain reaction is you. Is you. I'll join you in a meditation and return to close us out. Take an easy breath in through the nose and an easy breath out through the mouth. Move easily and slowly. If you are ever feeling stuck in this life, wanting to find the way, remember this. The mere intention of being still and silent has enough power in it to generate a complete awakening in your life, regardless of how deeply stuck you feel or think you are. Take this with you for the rest of the day and the evening and night, and we will return here Friday, February 11th, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call.